Hello, and welcome to Freedom with Marketing. I'm Sam, the founder of Freedom with Marketing, and welcome to the Life, Leadership and Business Skills playlist. Today, I want to share with you a concept, which is something that I had to learn the hard way, and it's something that I now incorporate into everything I do in my own personal life, my business life, and how I interact with others. The concept is that everyone is unique, everyone has unique strengths, everyone has unique abilities. Everyone is good at some things and bad at everything else. Everyone is an individual, and therefore, what might work well for me might not work equally as well for you, because you personally are completely different to me. Your circumstances are completely different for me. So trying to have a so-called one-stop solution, but this will work for everyone, is not necessarily the best way to look at things. Because if you try to adapt something that someone else does, it may end up a catastrophe for you. A personal experience of this is I have a friend who is a significantly more accomplished runner than I do, and I try to replicate his training in order to improve myself. What I failed to realize is that he has gone through a lot of physiological adaptations over several years, which I have not. So me trying to copy and imitate his training plan would end up with a disaster because I haven't gone through all of the other processes beforehand. Another example of this is when it comes down to social pressure, where external factors are trying to get you to do something which is probably not the smartest thing to do, but because everyone around you is doing it, you try to copy it. So I have a friend who has signed up to do a 110-kilometer run, and I'm doing the same run as he is. Last year we both did the 55-kilometer run, which is half the distance, and we both know how hard the course was and all the problems. And we both know how challenging it's going to be on this trail run to get to the finishing line. What my friend's done is he has decided that he wants to sign up for a 50-kilometer road race 6 days before this 110-kilometer run. I personally don't think this is a good idea. My coach thinks it's a ridiculous idea too, but my friend signed up to do it because the people that he runs with are doing it as well. So he's basically copying what the people around him are doing, which inevitably might lead to disaster for him during the run. And the reason it might lead to a disaster for him is because the 50-kilometer run, which he sees as a training, starts at 1 a.m, which means he'll have no sleep. Running on the road is completely different to running on the trails. And then it's going to take him a few days to recover from that. And then he's going to have a sleepless night before the run, because the run starts early and we have to get from the city to the starting line. And then he's going to run all day, run all night, and then run into the second day again in order to finish it. So in the space of 7 nights, he's going to have at least 3 nights with no sleep. I really don't see how that's a smart thing to do, but that's what he wants to do, what he believes is the best way for him to complete the 110-kilometer race as a result of social pressure of what other people around him are doing. I should also add that the people that he often goes running with, they bizarrely, while they're out on the trail, when they stop at aid stations where someone like me would get water and some food and nutrition and get out, they like to sit there and then light up a cigarette, which is, I believe, which from my view is a bit strange, but that's just the way that some people are, who am I to judge. And of course I wish my friend and everyone all of the best in the upcoming race. But the lesson here is that when everyone's trying to do something, when the entire world around you is moving towards one thing, when perhaps it's a narrative that you hear over and over again, a narrative in your industry, an external narrative pushed by government, external narratives pushed by non-government organisations, that you may feel pressured into doing something that you otherwise would have done. Take, for example, with AI. The narrative is that AI is going to replace everyone. How do you know? No one can predict the future. There's other certain narratives which I won't mention here, in case it causes problems to me on YouTube, which again, the actual evidence when you look into it doesn't match what the narrative is. And again, no one can predict the future. So in a scenario like this, where everyone is doing one thing, you need to be aware that what works for one person most likely is not going to translate 100% to you. You need to interpret a concept, like the story that I've told you here and the lesson I'm trying to share with you here, that everyone is unique, everyone is individual. What works for one person may not work for you. Is you need to interpret the concept and apply it to your situation. I remember Dan Sullivan once saying that he was in a coaching session, one of his workshops in a strategic coach, and he shared a concept to a room full of 100 people, and each person then internalized it and went and applied that concept in 100 different ways. Nobody did it the same way. And the same should be true for you. If you're in a situation where everyone's doing one thing, but your gut feeling tells you something different, listen to your gut feeling and be aware that no one can predict the future. And just because everyone's saying something's going to happen, it doesn't mean that it will. And whenever you do anything, think of how you can apply it to your own personal situation. And this is something which I take very seriously at Freedom of Marketing. When we work with clients, we do our absolute very best to identify what your specific goals are and try to identify what you believe to be holding you back from achieving these goals. And when we can identify this, we can use our vast experience of strategies that we've used in the past to apply something to your unique situation, which will give you the best chance of success. And if it doesn't, we have the mindset that you have to make a few mistakes and learn what not to do before you can uncover what you can do. And which is why everything that we do has to be super highly personalized to the client and their business and their vision and their mission, what their offer is, what their prospect is, and all of these multitude of factors. Whereas a lot of other people would come in and try to fit, I've got this strategy here, it's going to work for you, and often it doesn't work the way that they expect it to. And you need to adapt this mindset when it comes to your own customers, clients and prospects, that you have to adapt your product, your offer, a way that it can help them to their unique personal situation. And the more you can do that, the more the people are going to trust you, the more the people are going to buy into your offer and your ideas, and the more sales you will have. That's all I've got for you today. If you'd like to learn more about how we can help you, you'll find a link to the website, what we do and how we can help you below. That's all for today. Thank you.